I wish you a Merry Christmas. I wish you a Merry Christmas. I wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. As you can see, I'm spreading my holiday cheer. Welcome everybody to Nine's Corner. I am so happy to get to spend this time with you. I am going to introduce my candle because I have the 3 wicks lit. One for Christmas past, one for Christmas present, and one for Christmas future. So I will share with you, recently it was the anniversary of my mom's passing, 25 years. 25 long, sad, lonely years without her. And, you know, this is the time of year when you really conjure up all the people that have passed away, that you've lost in your life, even those you've lost contact with, and you feel that feeling of nostalgia, and I'm right there with you. We all kind of, deal with Christmas in our own ways, and hopefully, no matter what you're going through, you will find a piece of joy, because sometimes you just gotta realize that it's your feelings, it's your thoughts that create a situation. So even if you're feeling a little bit down this Christmas, please try to find that little piece of joy that'll make you happy, even if it's just lighting a candle and knowing that I'm right there with you, and so are your loved ones. No matter where they are, they're with you in spirit, in energy. So I thought we're going to do a few readings that will be very interesting. I thought let's look at Hope Hicks, my guys, my folks. Y'all know. Oh my God. So first starting off, I thought let's look at Hope Hicks. She's recently been in the news. I find it just listen. She was a model. Bill Barr said that she was dumb as a rock. And she found her way through Ivanka. She started working with Ivanka on her fashion lines, and then she did some real estate deals. And supposedly Donald Trump was so impressed. She did the best deals ever. You're nothing better than her. So she ended up working for Donald Trump. And I'm thinking, I wonder if Ivanka and Jared kind of used her to find out what's going on with Daddy. Because think about it, Hope Hicks said nothing, even though when she was called on, she said she told little white lies. She actually steamed Trump's suits while he was standing in them, which is just crazy if you think about it. And at one point, they were on the plane, and she had forgotten the steamer, and he got really mad at her and yelled at her. So I thought, let's have a look at Hope Hicks, and realistically, she was part of the whole Russiagate that Mueller was able to say, hey, there's lots of fires here, but I can't do what you guys want me to do. I can't connect the dots and force this issue, but here's all this stuff. Here's all the information, and all these fires point to Trump. Take this information and run with it. Run with it they have, but let's have a look into Hope Hicks. And I also want to look into her past. If something comes up in her past while we're doing the reading, I just want to see. Because she had a boyfriend of 6 years, and she broke up with him because of the pressure of her job. Let's just have a little peek, just because, I don't know, we're just a little bit busybodies from time to time. All right, guys. Mon amis. Mes amis, my friends, my Nines angels, because honestly, if I could call you anything, I think I'd call you Nines angels, because you lift me up. And when I'm human, I have good days, bad months. And even if I'm just, you guys lift me up. Your comments, your messages of support, your support, I so am appreciative of it. You have no idea. So my little Nines angels, let's get into a reading on Hope Hicks, who's not a Nines angel at all, ever. Let's have a look and see what you're up to, Hope Hicks, what you about. We got the Star. Wow. She's made lots of connections, but this will tell you Bill Barr was right. Not that she's dumb as a rock, But this shows me somebody who's innocent, who's not really aware of what she's doing. She's just hoping for the best. This is definitely climbing the ladder and wanting to be part of the elite, be part of the greatness of Trump and that whole momentum of being in the White House. Can you imagine? But I'm going to be interested to see if she's the Monica Lewinsky of the Trump era, right? Oh, I shouldn't say that because I actually like Monica. Well, I do. I do like her. I feel bad for her. I feel bad that she had to take the brunt of all that. But that's a whole other conversation. So, crossing it. Ooh, judgment. Boys and girls. People of all ages. This is somebody who's going to have to atone for their actions. Like I said, the Russia thing is yet to come out, but it will come out. What's going against her? What's going against her innocence? Even her naivety is the fact that no matter how innocent you are, if you do negative actions, if you go along with negative actions, if you take part, you are going to be judged. So this is a really harsh card to have on top of her, really and truly. Sorry, my hands are really dry. Like it's minus 38 here, which is like minus 36 for my Fahrenheit friends. It is cold. I have snow pants on. I kid you not. It's cold. It's so cold. So underneath it, guys, we got the Lovers card. Oh my goodness. If we didn't know there was something happening between her and Trump, there definitely was. This is secretive. Very secretive. Very few people knew about it. I think she was stroking his ego, giving him a back rub. But this is the Lovers card. So I'm going to say what I don't want to say, what I don't want to believe, but the cards are telling me, so I'm going to tell you. I think that there was some semblance of a relationship between her and Trump that was even sexual. Ooh. In the past. Ooh, wow, the Three of Swords. I really think this is her breaking up with her boyfriend of 6 years. That's a pretty profound amount of time to spend with somebody because of her work obligations. Her work obligations being Trump. Guys, I need to get a throw-up bucket right here because this is just, what am I reading here? What is happening? Oh my God. So I think, and I also think that when she ended up going from Ivanka to Trump, that this kind of broke her spirit, and maybe the innocence that we see here has been broken in the past, and that her wish, her happiness of going along with Trump, she had seen the signs prior to anything happening. She had truly believed, and then she lost her boyfriend. She lost her job, and she certainly lost her relationship. And there's definitely a question mark, which is not a question mark. Yes, she had a relationship with Trump. Oh my God. On top, we got the Tower. She's got, like, do you see? We've got three major arcanas. We had three major arcanas out at the same time. We've got the Lovers, we've got Judgment, and we've got the Tower on top of it. So, Hope Hicks, regardless of how hopeful you may be in the moment in this situation, you are definitely going to be judged for the things that you have done. Your life is going to topple over in a way that's going to be mind-blowingly changing to you. Like, this is a life. Like, I wouldn't be shocked if you saw her have this major life change where all of a sudden she becomes extremely religious, or she becomes extremely fill in the blank, because her life is just And the Trump thing, possibly the relationship or the inappropriateness of the relationship may be touched, may be coming out in papers, may come out in something of that nature. Her future, wow, she got the Sun. Normally we would be looking at the Sun and going, wow, that's a great card, so much happiness, so much sunshine. But when you look at the cards that have come before it and you relate it to the cards that have come before it, there's going to be a light that's going to be shown on the judgment. That's going to be shown on the things that she has done. And with her having the Star card out at the very beginning, it could be a situation where she has done something for Trump that now she knows is going to get her in trouble, that's going to change her life for the worse. But in the Tower, there's always redemption, and in the Judgment card, there's always redemption. So there's always the possibility of her moving on. And like I said, don't be surprised if she goes to the extreme of something else, because it is going to be a life-changing event. And oftentimes people will cling to something to get through it. But I also, for this reading, I think it's really, I think what we've been saying about the relationship, something coming out about it, and it's going to blow up her world. And certainly, you know, this is the most probable thing that's going to happen. So the Tower is there as the most probable thing. For her, she's the 9 of Wands. She's trying to defend what she has done. She's trying to be careful with her words, and she's playing words. And these little white lies are going to be coming out. She's going to have to defend them one by one. This is not going to go away, but there could be a delay. And this could be in response of the Republicans taking over. As far as people are concerned, we've got the Ace of Swords. So these are the others that are around her. The Ace of Swords, there's written word. There's something in paperwork, something in what people say. You know how people gossip, and I think there's going to be something coming out. The Ace of Swords is a pretty strong card. You're coming down. It's going to show clarity. It's going to show a strong understanding of a situation. So it may take a long time. It's like everything else to do with Trump. I think the upset with everybody going after Trump, which is just like, I feel like that popcorn song when I'm hearing everything about Trump. Because it's just coming from every side. Like it's just like the explosion's happening, but still we're waiting to see if he's going to go to jail. Because why is everybody still talking about him running and becoming the Republican nominee? It's like, shouldn't he be in jail already, guys? Like, what is happening? So anyway, here we are, Hope Hicks. 5 of Pentacles. Wow, you know, in her hopes and fears, she already feels like, I'm done. She already knows the heartache that's coming. She's come to the realization that she has done something and she's going to atone for it. And if I was doing this reading for Hope Hicks, I would say, listen, girl, you are going to be going through some major changes. But with major changes, and even with her fear of 5 of Pentacles, she still sees that there's hope. There's somewhere to go. But she's so fearful because she's so innocently wrapped in this. And I think that she already knows this is happening. That's what's uppermost on her mind. That's what's most probable that's going to happen. So I think behind the scenes when she's talking to all these different lawyers and all these different people, they've kind of said, listen, this is possibly coming out. If these papers go out, or maybe it's something that she said, because with the Ace of Swords, it could be hearing what she said. So outcome, 8 of Cups. Walking away from everything that you've built up. So when we talked about the fact that this will have a major effect on her life, where she may actually literally turn away from her life, turn away from what she thought would be her life and be more on the quiet side, But as soon as I flipped that card, the first thing I saw was the sun in it. I'll show you 8. The 8 of Cups is walking away, but it also means that you could be walking into your truth. You could be walking into your real authentic you, because you're letting go of everything that you've thought of. That's letting go of old habits, old thoughts. So maybe she's growing. Maybe she, from her innocence, from her unknowing, she has become knowing. And with that, she will say lesson learned and move on. And she will do something that's positive for her. As soon as I flipped the card, I saw the sun, which tells me that, yes, she's going to go through a major change. Yes, there's going to be judgment. Yes, there's going to be events that she can't control. But I think at the end of it, she will get to walk away from it. She will get to walk to something more. And I truly think that this is an opportunity for her to walk into a new life as her authentic self and be in service. And when I say be in service, I don't mean like, oh, go out and you've got to be in service to, to a charity, even though that's a wonderful thing to do. I mean, when I say in service, is that you realize that you're no better than anybody else, and that you're amazing as you are, and so is everybody else. And when you get, that doesn't take away from anybody, and when they get, that doesn't take away from you. Everybody can be a winner. Everybody can hold each other up. And I think that, I can't help it, that's the feeling I get from her, that she's going to go in service, where she's going to have a change, a critical change in her thinkings and her thoughts. Don't be surprised if we see some sort of deal to get out of jail time, telling something possibly against Ivanka and Jared. Trump, obviously. And the 3 of Swords definitely could be, I think it's really referencing, coming into the Trump White House and really losing, like just not knowing what she was doing. And the only thing, like, that's pretty much what made her seem so elusive. Like Hope Hicks, she never says anything. She's the 4th communications officer, but she hasn't said anything. And she very much speaks like Ivanka in that, hushed tone. So, yeah. There's Hope Hicks, my friends. What do you think? What do you think of that? Okay, before we do the second, Nina was about to throw her cards. Before we do the second reading, I thought it was really interesting that there was a little tiff between Boebert and Marjorie Taylor Greene, because it really shows Boebert has, changed with the winds because she wants to keep moving on. Listen to this. In her future, there's going to be miscommunication. She's going to try to backpedal. She's going to try to pretend that this is not. She's going to try to backpedal and try to delay the situation and try to make it seem as though that's not what I meant. That's not what I intended. But punishment is coming to her. So, see, we already knew that she was going to be a turncoat, but it's interesting to see that her and Marjorie Taylor are fighting. So the next reading I thought we were going to do is about China. So it feels to me as though there's this perfect storm that's coming for 2023. So before I get into that, I'm going to be doing a reading, predictions for 2023. I thought I'd break it down and do a reading for each sign, so then you get a personalized, as best as I can, reading. But in the beginning, I'm going to do like predictions for everything that interests me. So if there's something that interests you, let me know and I will do it on the predictions video. But I was thinking about it. There's this perfect storm that is coming, because if you think, like I was about to say, if you think about it, like you've said, think about it about several times now. I know I catch myself doing these things, my friends, my angels, my mezzanines. But if you think about it, oh dear. But when it comes to all the world events, you've got Russia falling down. You've got China dealing with COVID-19 and, you know, killing off their people and the people wanting a change in the government. And then you've got Zelensky coming to the U.S. The U.S. is going to help them without giving them U.S. soldiers, but train them. But it's like, if you look at all the world countries, they're all in this shaky ground of like, what's going to happen? Is China going to fall? Is Russia going to fall? Or is the U.S. and therefore allies going to get involved? Because right now you're looking at China and its people just pushing back and saying, no more, we want freedom. People are dying. And at some point we have to look at it and go, okay, this is not okay. And at some point we got to get involved. So I'm just looking at the totality of what's happening in the world, and that the foundations are really at a point where they're giving. And this is a good thing, because historically we're going to be looking at the beginning of the breakdown of Russia, the breakdown of China, and God willing, that will be, sorry guys, there's a phone call coming in, so I'm distracted by the thing came up. So I'm looking at these things, all these changes being something positive and amazing. But in order for things to break down, there's a lot of damage that has to happen. So I think in 2023, that's what's going to be the biggest issue. That's what's going to be the biggest thoughts, the biggest things going forward. So I thought, let's look at China, what's going to happen with Xi Jinping, and let's go forward and see, is there a perfect storm? Is 2023 going to be a year of watching world events? So China, what's happening with you? At the base, we've got the Hierophant. There is a strong discord that's happening. There is this want for the people to be elevated, to be free, to be able to have their own thoughts, to be able to watch what's going on in the world. And then it's being held down by the old regime. It's being held down by the old beliefs, the old way of doing things. But people now have opened their mind to a much more spiritual way of thinking, where they're saying, no, we deserve this. And they're willing to give up their lives, to give up, to know that their value is to give freedom and to go against what has been, knowing that they will be creating the change in the world that will enlighten millions. Crossing it, we've got the Lovers. Crossing this is the power of the institution, and the fact that the institution with the Lovers there has made poor decisions in the past, but this also means that there's ingrained relationships that are interdependent on Xi Jinping. Sorry if I'm miscorrecting it. Please don't correct me. I'm just, you know, that the connections that he has, the relationships are dependent on him being successful. So there's so many people that have become players in it, and true players that don't care if people die. They don't care how the regular person does, as long as they're part of the rich and the elite. So underneath it, we've got the Knight of Pentacles. This is the slow progression of things moving. This is people. In the past, there's justice. So justice is slow. The wheels of justice are slow, and we know this. But people are seeing themselves and seeing that there's more to life than what the regime has led them to believe. It's a slow growing progression. But just as in the past, with the Hierophant here ready to split down which way is going to go, I fear that what's just is what's coming. That the past is based on the injustice that has been put against the Chinese people. I'm really worried because we said about relationships covering this. So I am truly worried about, does this, because as I'm talking, I'm looking at the progression of the cards, and I'm really worried that when we said about other relationships, that this could be the relationship with Russia, the relationship of America and America's allies, having to get involved with the injustices that are happening. And in a really negative way, you know, if you look at the Lovers cards being issues, decisions that you've made in the past that will present themselves as, look, this is what you've manifested. So, you know, be careful what you wish for. I'm really worried that Donald Trump has given secrets to China. We know he's given them money through North Korea and South Korea and all that kind of stuff. But I'm looking at legal papers, legal documents, things that really help China in their intelligence, and in turn probably helps Russia. So as weak as we think they are, there is papers and documents that Donald Trump has given them, things that can be used, things that could, you know, come together, cause a creation of the countries to say, hey, what's happening here? China, what's going to happen? I really think this is Xi Jinping. I think that with the Six of Wands here, I almost feel as though he's going to be in the limelight, and he forces that limelight. He forces everybody to bow to him, to keep clapping, and the first person that stops clapping, and all that kind of stuff. Now I might be confusing North Korea and China, but it's all, you know, it's the same thing. It's the same thing. It's all dictatorship and stuff. But as soon as I flipped this card, my feeling was the president has to be really careful that we don't see an assassination over 2023. I think that there's a possibility that he could be found and put in jail, prison, and this could go two ways. It could be a horrific, we are going to pay in jail, or it could be something where they actually put him out to the public, to the millions and millions and millions of Chinese people who have suffered under him, and make him present himself and end up having to take justice for what he's done, for the decisions he's made. In the near future, we got the Wheel. Guys, oh, my friends, my angels, my peoples. With the Wheel here, we see the wheel turning, and there's no way that the regime can keep up this abuse of their people. It is going to get more difficult. We're going to hear about more people dying. We're going to hear about more people missing and going missing, and finding out horrific tales of how just regular people being treated, especially during this time of coronavirus and all the cover-ups and everything else. So the Wheel is in their future. And this is, you know, if you look at the relationships and the different countries that are involved, the Wheel is having a place at the table. The Wheel is, you don't know where we're going. It's a spin of a wheel, how this is going to work out, because you've got two forces. You've got the old way and the new way trying to fight their way. The Three of Pentacles, unfortunately, 100%, there's going to be another country involved with China. There's going to be something that's going to set China off, and we're going to be looking at them talking about possible nuclear issues with them. You know, that can we stop them? Can we neutralize them? Or are they going to go forward? Oh, you can't make this stuff up. We've got the devil. So I truly believe all the relationships we were talking about, all the people who became prosperous in the name of, you know, not caring about their fellow human being, not caring about their lives, going with the regime, going with the party's horrific way of treating people. We've got the devil. The devil means that's Russia. The devil also means that there's definitely every country kind of, you know, sometimes works with the country, and then all of a sudden the governments change and the relationships change and evolve. But unfortunately, I'm seeing a lot of negative relationships, a lot of negative paperwork, a lot of negative, everything that's coming out is just cruelty, beyond anything that you can understand. Cruelty outside and inside. But this is the others, and the others are showing the devil. So surrounding them and the people that get involved, you're looking at doing it for maybe their own purpose rather than doing it for the betterment of people. A case of, truly, I don't care about the people of China or how it affects the people. It's my interest. You know what I'm saying? Like, the devil being there is not being a friend of the people, not being a friend of the change. The Queen of Swords, in their hopes and fears for China, they hope to maintain their hold on the people. They hope to maintain their sword down. Like they're not going to soften. They're not going to be there and go, hey, the people don't like this. Maybe we should change our ways. Not going to happen. They will fight, and they will be cutthroat about it till they finally are taken down. The end result, we've got the Four of Wands. There's going to be some small changes, some small wins. And they're going to be celebrated because they deserve to be celebrated. But this still means there's a lot of work. But if you see in this card, we've got some beautiful colors in the sky, which means that the future looks really bright. In the short term, we're going to see some positive effects come out from all this stuff that's going to happen. But when you're looking at a timeline, you're looking at this starting to come out in 2023. This being the future, you know, this future could be 5 years down the road, 10 years down the road. But it also means that on that road to enlightenment, on that road to freedom, on that road to the change from the old ways to the new ways. And the Four of Wands is beautiful because that means there's definitely a wonderful, strong foundation for it. Like we said, we've got to tear down the old. And by tearing it down, that means there's going to be a lot of suffering. I think the suffering that's going to be seen is going to get to the point where it's a human catastrophe and can no longer be ignored. So there's a lot there. Maybe the devil is also referencing Donald Trump getting them papers that, you know, can help them, or can help them in the sense of they help Russia. Do you know what I mean? Like everything flows, you know, wherever the money goes. So, and if Russia can't give them money, and China's been really friendly with Saudi Arabia, and Saudi Arabia has not been friendly with the U.S. or their allies. So, my goodness, guys. My goodness. My goodness, y'all. There is this perfect storm. So, my dear ones, I think I'm going to leave it there. That was a lot of information that just came at me. That was a really interesting read, I have to say. I enjoyed that one. So, as always, I have our unity candle lit for each and every one of us. And until the next time we chat, cheerio and take care, my friends.